The longest quest in patch 3.0 is not the Archon quest, but the Aranyaka quest, so let's summarize this story. As you're walking through Sumeru, you bump into a forest watcher named Rana. You save her from some monsters and start talking about the legend of the Aranara, small forest spirits that can travel through dreams. You decide to follow her to Vimara village to ask the children more about them since they seem to know something. Once you get there, you learn that the children regularly disappear and return with no memory of what happened. You talk to the kids and they seem to know about the Aranara but don't want to talk about it. You then go clear some withering zones with Rana and afterwards come across Eotham, one of the kids in the village being pursued by some Fatui. You defeat the Fatui and chase after Eotham. You later find Eotham inside a green orb within a withering zone. You clear the withering zone and Eotham is unharmed and exits the green orb. Rana gets sick from getting too close to the withering zone. You bring Eotham back to the village before returning to Rana, who you left behind. You find Rana in a green orb like you found Eotham. There you meet an Aranara named Arana. Arana informs you that the children in the village were in constant danger from Fatui and from the withering zones. Arana would use her green orb power to protect the children and then take their memories away so that they wouldn't be traumatized by the danger. The children were actually friends with Arana and kept her a secret. For some reason, adults can't perceive or remember Aranara, only children can. Arana was actually friends with Rana when she was a child. While Arana has the power to treat injuries from the withering, she cannot fully cure Rana. Arana now tasks the traveler to go to Vanarana, home of the Aranara, and obtain something called a Bija, something that can cure Rana. In the meantime, Arana will stay put and continue treating Rana. You follow Arana's instructions and eventually reach Vanarana, where you meet Arama, another Aranara. You perform some tasks for Arama to prove your trustworthiness. Then he lets you into the real Varanara, which is actually a town hidden within a dream. You then talk to a bunch of other Aranara and learn that in order to create the Bija, you need to hold something called the Festival of Utsava. Unfortunately, in order to hold the Festival of Utsava, you need to gather all the Aranara, and they are currently spread out throughout Sumeru. You also have to get something called the Vasoma fruit from Vasara trees and feed them to something called the Ashvatha tree. You then go on a lengthy adventure to get all these tasks done, making a lot of new Aranara friends, getting lost in a giant rune grater, clearing a lot of withering zones, and just making the forest a better place. After gathering all the Aranara, you head back to Varanara and hold the Utsava festival. There you party it up with the Aranara and also create a garland made from a single flower from each of the Aranara you've met on your adventure. After the festival, you head to the Ashvatha tree with Arama to give it the collected Vasoma fruits. The Ashvatha tree is actually the source and the progenitor of all the Aranara. Unfortunately, as you give it the fruit, you realize that it has been weakened by withering zones and cannot create a Bija. Arama tells you the only way to create a Bija and cure Rana is to defeat the withering zones and plant another Ashvatha tree. The source of the withering zones actually comes from a being known as Marana's avatar. Marana's avatar can be found in the ruins of Old Varanara, the Aranara's original hometown that it destroyed. Traveler, Paimon, and Arama travel through Old Varanara and fight and defeat Marana's avatar. It is then revealed that Arama must become the seed for the new Ashvatha tree. For Aranara, memory and dreams are power. The purpose of the Utsava festival was to gather the memories from all the Aranara that the traveler and Paimon met on their adventure in order to feed it into the Ashvatha tree in order to create the Bija. After the Bija is created, none of the Aranara will remember the traveler or their adventures together, as those memories were converted into the Bija. Arama then teleports Arana over, who was treating Rana, in order to give the final memory and complete the Bija. Arama then turns into the Ashvatha tree, the memories are fed in, and the Bija is created. When you try to talk to Arana, she doesn't know who you are. However, she can tell that you are a good person and that there is a hole in her memories. You and Arana head over to Rana, who is still inside the green orb, and Arana can't remember her either. You give Rana the Bija, and not only does she get better, she remembers all the forgotten memories she made with Arana when she was a child. Rana is overcome with emotions, and it is at this point she gets a Dendro vision. This is the first time in Genshin Impact where we've actually witnessed someone get a vision. Rana and Arana then decide to travel together and go on their own adventures, making new memories. And that is where the quest ends. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I did making it. If you enjoyed what you've seen here, like, comment, and subscribe.